Yep, looks like we're live. Hi, everybody. I am Tamara Kelly from Moogly, and I am so excited to be here today with my friend Marley Bird.
Hello.
Yay! We have been working so hard this year on stash busting quickies. Marley probably harder than anybody. But we have put together so many patterns. And if you guys haven't heard about it yet, I don't know where you've been because we've been talking about it like crazy.
Yes, that's what it feels like. Feels like that's all I'm talking about anymore.
I know, right? So anyway, so basically stash busting quickies. This year is the third year in a row we've done it. We have 50 brand new. This year, all the patterns are brand new, never before seen in any other capacity. Totally brand new patterns for you guys, both crochet and knit. 50 patterns total. I think it's 30 crochet and 20 knit, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You get all that. You get a bunch of printable templates for displaying and gifting your items. You've got printable gift tags. You've got a sticker set.
Yes.
You've got a $15 coupon to the Marley Bird Ravelry store.
Yes.
You've got a $15 coupon to the Tamara Kelly Ravelry store. All this. What did we figure it out? You usually figure out what is the big value of all this.
Oh gosh, I gotta go look because I don't even remember anymore. And I will say we just announced today that there's going to be another crochet pattern added next week when Robin and I do a live lunch and learn to work through some stuff. We're adding on a hat pattern to match the Giovanni scarf patterns. There's going to be 51 patterns.
Nice.
Sorry, my computer, it's processing to bring up the page clearly because you know now's the time. It's a lot. I will tell you guys, it's a lot. It's a lot of money.
I know.
It's a lot of money.
Okay, so let's rough estimate. We're gonna figure 50 patterns, even at what, $5 to $10 a piece.
Yeah,
that's math. That's math. That's hundreds of dollars of patterns. I'm like here going, math. Live on
I am so sorry. Like my computer is like frozen on the page, and I don't know why it's not working.
That's how lives go.
Seriously, now's the time you want to do this. Okay, here we go. Now I'm scrolling down now. Okay, regular price would be $500 because that's how everything would be added together, and then we are giving it to you for $29.
$29.
$29.
50 patterns.
Did you mention the $30 dollars worth of coupons to Ravelry?
$30 of coupons.
Yeah.
Printables, a holiday planner, recipes from our own families.
Yes.
$29.
All the things. I mean, guys, it's amazing. It's one of those things. Okay, do you guys ever go to Barnes and Noble and you would pick up a crochet or knitting book? And for me, it was always if I like 2 or 3 patterns in the book, it was worth the price.
Right.
And so if you go through this and you find 2 or 3 patterns that you're like, oh, I really like those, it's worth the price. Like if you want to break it down that simply, it's fun. People are already making items. People are excited about it.
Yes.
I don't know. And then I just sent you back the box.
Yes.
It's what you have there in your hand.
Yes.
Look at that.
We wanted to make sure the photography for this was really good as it can be here. And Marley is frankly a better photographer than I am. So she was kind enough. She was kind enough to photograph my items as well. But I just got the box back. I haven't even opened it up yet. So I thought I'm going to go ahead and start opening that up. But Marley, I know you're already wearing something beautiful.
So this is made using Red Heart Roll With It Sparkle. So you guys, can you see the sparkle there? Like it just has, you let the yarn be the star. You do a fairly simple lace stitch pattern. And I promise you guys, it's really is not that difficult. And you let the yarn do what it's going to do, change colors, how it's going to change. I didn't do any sort of blocking to this. This is literally right off the needles.
That's amazing.
And you could just throw it on. It feels so good no matter how you want to wear it, whether it's wrapped up like this or spread out more of a rectangle and just draped over your shoulders. It's such a great I want to say just like a little party piece or something, just a little bit of added sparkle. And it doesn't really matter what part of maybe the country you live in, because I know for a fact in Florida I have been in many restaurants where it is bitter cold because of the air conditioning. So having a little something like this in your like bag or whatever is really helpful. But again, I think this was like 1 and maybe a half balls of yarn. So totally a stash diving piece.
Yeah.
Let the yarn do the work for you. Fairly easy. The knitter, she had it done in a couple days because my contractor made this. This is called the I think it's the enchanted wrap is what this is called. This is one of the knitting patterns though. And it's just a comfortable piece. It feels really good. It feels really good.
That's awesome. I kind of want that one. I was wishing that one was in this box. Kind of accidentally fell in.
I know, right? We talked about this in one of the other podcasts that I did, but we literally pulled things from our own shelves.
Yeah.
Like this was something I got this yarn on my own because I just wanted. You guys don't know much about me. I don't do a lot of muted colors, and so I'm like, I'm gonna pick something that has the muted colors done for me, and so. That's why I got the Roll With It Sparkle. And I'm just like, I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy with this. It's just
it's beautiful.
Love
Absolutely one of my favorite pieces.
Thank you.
Well, I can see one of my favorite pieces is right on top of this box.
I actually
probably
put
the majority
everything
of the box
in that one. I put it all in there.
Okay. This is going to be fun to pull up then. Because, I was like, this was a very well sealed box. First of all, Marley takes amazing photographs and you can have her package your stuff. Have her help you move.
I was afraid it was very well packaged. Because it's full.
Here, I'm going to do this then. I'm going to be.
I love that piece.
Attempt to dump it all out, but
yeah.
Here we have it. Check this out. Let me set the box.
Oh my gosh! Here. I love that. I love that basket.
I'm whacking things all over the desk here because it's so big.
Yeah.
This is the Bradley basket, which probably my favorite piece. It's got a little bit of fuzz on it, but. Holy cow. Look at this guy. I've been trying to tell people how big this is.
It's so big.
It's so hard to describe. I think of the pattern, it says it's 12 inches tall. I think it's a little bit taller than that even. But
it's so nice. Yeah,
it's massive. You can fit, there's so much room for activities. You can fit all kinds of things in here. And it really is simple. It's, you could use Bernat blanket extra thick or Bernat blanket big. I just got these great handles that snap on right off of Amazon. How awesome are these?
Mm-hmm.
Boom, 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 boom. Whipped this up in an afternoon. Definitely talk about a stash buster. I had a partial ball of this left over from some pumpkins people might recognize from earlier in the year. Just proving totally a stash buster. My leftover green, some leftover, again, a familiar color, and a little bit of white, and boom, a complete basket. And it's huge. And it, like she said, it actually does hold every other thing that I sent, which is amazing.
Yeah, it held everything. Like that basket is so much fun. When you sent it, I was like, this is, and then I was like, how am I going to photograph this? So I actually had it full of blankets and then I put a pillow on top to make it look like it was something smooth. But then you'll see in the pictures, my dog, she was like, I'm not moving from this fire. Like she's this little tiny thing. She's like, take a picture around me. This is what we're doing. So I tried to do something. I was like, well, most fireplaces are the same size. So I figured if I put it in front of the fireplace, it would give you some perspective of how big it is. But I don't think it even does it justice until you held it up. Yeah. It's like, this thing is massive and it is so cool. I love the handles you chose.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah, they're a great find, honestly. Yeah. Anybody, if you're going to your Amazon looking for handles, they just snap right on. I love that. So the great thing is then too, this is a machine washable and dryable yarn, which I'm always a big fan of. If you watch my stuff, you know, I love that. You just snap the handles off and you can throw it in the washer and dryer.
Yeah. It's a great basket
when you're done. Awesome.
It's a great basket. Cool.
So yeah, that's one of my favorites. Do you have any other stuff with you there?
I have girl, can I just tell you?
Well, we made 50 things, so yeah.
Like 50 things. Okay, so this is one of my favorite things. This is the Tunisian favorite poncho. And I'm gonna put it on because I just love it.
I love that one.
Made in 2 panels, worked side to side, and it's Tunisian feather and fan. I'm gonna hold it close.
That is so pretty. I'm familiar with feather and fan, but I'd never seen it done in Tunisian before, and I absolutely love it.
It's common. Actually, Robin was working on this pattern and putting it together to make it so that it would show up really well. Because you guys don't know, Robin Chichula is my business partner, and we're like a design team, so we work on all this stuff together. It's meant to be a layering piece, so you can put it over. Like I wear those Old Navy swing dresses all the time, but it's meant to be a larger, oversized piece that you just put on. Oh my gosh, this yarn, it's provincial tweed from We Crochet. It's so fantastic. But I'm gonna stand up and just kind of.
That's so pretty.
I feel like I'm stalled. Am I stalled?
Yeah. That or your hand standing really, really still.
I know. Oh, my camera went dead. All right, hold on. That's why. Hold on a second. I can switch cameras. Okay. I'm like, why am I doing that?
I thought you were just being like a mannequin, like really well. Like, look
No,
at this
I
stitch
was like,
pattern.
why
She's
is
holding
this
so
not
still.
moving? All right, so we're gonna go. Can you see me now?
Yep.
I was like, what is
You're back.
happening? Okay, so you can see I'm 5'10", so it hits me just like, here's my hip, so it's a little bit lower. It's just a very comfortable, lovely little piece. Really, the inside and the outside both look really great. You can choose a bunch of different colors, worsted weight yarn, even like a Peyton's. The Peyton's tweed would be really pretty. And you don't have to use a tweed. There's something about it being tweed that I like. The natural chevron-esque of the stitch gives you that nice wave at the sleeves. So I love this. This is the only Tunisian piece in the whole Stash Busting Quickies, and it is a doozy. I know of several of the people who've bought this already, who bought the Stash Busting Quickies, who are already making this like in their own colors, because it is just lovely. It is so awesome.
I love the length too, because it's like you say, it's a great layering piece over a dress. You and I are both big fans of kind of the long maxi dress, but also it's a perfect length for like leggings. Like I would totally wear that with leggings.
Yes, totally. Like it is, this is just wonderful. It's just wonderful. So if you are, I'm gonna say an adventurous beginner where you follow the rules or follow the instructions blindly, you could absolutely do this, but it really is a little bit more advanced Tunisian, which isn't a problem. We're doing Tunisian courses all the time on my YouTube channel, and we're building that inside the Marley Birdhouse. So don't let it scare you. Like this is definitely something you could do.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And I know for me with lace, really the key is to just go ahead and use the stitch markers.
Oh yeah.
Take the time, break it up into sections. If you know where your repeats are, you know, you can make it easy on yourself. That's for sure. I love it though. It's so pretty. It's worth sitting with.
I love this. All right. Awesome. Your turn.
All right. This is another one. Well, I mean, they're all kind of stacked up here, but this one is the Twisted Texture Wine Bottle Bag. Wine bottle cozy, something like that. But you can see the twisting post stitches on it there that gives it just a little bit of texture. I used a silver Red Heart Super Saver, so it's sturdy. It will not, you know, pull apart when you actually put a full bottle of wine or liquor in there. It's got some strength to it. It works up really quickly because I triple stranded the yarn all from one skein. There's a tutorial included. And it's just, it looks festive in this pretty color, which is just a simple gray. But once you add something like a sparkly button, if we can get that to focus, there it is.
There it is.
It really, I think, just takes it to the next level. And this is a button. Talk about stash busting. I think I bought this button like 5 or 6 years ago, and it's been sitting in my button drawer waiting desperately for a home. But it was a little too heavy for a hat, just weight-wise. And, you know, with this shape, honestly, can you imagine trying to button a sweater with that?
No, I couldn't.
That would be miserable.
I'd be so frustrated. I'd be so frustrated.
Yeah, this has to be completely decorative. So it had been waiting for a project, and boom. One skein of random Red Heart Super Saver that I had and a pretty button.
You know, I was just doing a live for the 24 days of Quickies that we're doing right now. And a Crochet Simplicity did a wine cozy today. So we were talking about how maybe you don't drink wine or somebody, you don't have somebody to give wine to. It's a really great thing to put like olive oil. You know, like a really nice bottle of olive oil. It's a really nice gift for that too. So, you know, kind of think outside the box. There's lots of ways you can use those fun little totes. Robin also mentioned your water bottle, like a cool water bottle cozy is what you can think of as that too. So there's lots of options. I love that little piece. It's cool.
Or just use it as a gift bag. Fill it up with a stack of treats.
Yes, absolutely.
Know? I mean, it's a great kind of piece that, I mean, they're going to hold on to and be able to reuse. So maybe they don't drink wine, but when they need to give a bottle of wine, they might be able to just grab that too.
Yep.
All right. Yes. What else do you have?
You want me to go? Okay.
Yeah. Let's see.
So, okay. So I'm going to pick crocheted socks. So this year, it's funny because I did a poll in the Marley's Minions Facebook group and I asked people what they wanted in Stash Busting Quickies. You and I both know, like, first off, knitting takes forever. The last thing I expected was for them to overwhelmingly say they wanted more sock yarn projects. I was like, where does the term quickie and sock yarn go together? Like, I don't understand this, but that's what a lot of people wanted. So we had actually, Robin designed these socks. I designed 3 other sock patterns, but we ended up only putting 2 in. So like 1 knit pattern and then this crochet pattern. This is so wonderful. It uses Robin's tried and true crochet crochet sock technique that she teaches in the classic and colorful crochet socks. It might be kind of hard to see. There are some long stitches in here, but really for this, guys, you want your yarn to be the star.
Yeah.
You can make this pair of socks with one skein or one hank of sock yarn.
And that's amazing for crochet.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They're lovely colors. So even though the stitch pattern, like I can see it here, it's really hard to translate over the camera, both the camera here and then camera as I'm photographing. It's just a very simple, it just breaks up the little stitch pattern a little bit. This yarn is from Sock Obsession Yarns, I think is what it's called. And it's just, they're just a fun sock pattern. And if you've never made crochet socks before, don't worry. Like we have a whole nother course in the Marley Birdhouse if you want to check those out. But I think you could absolutely make these. They are not super difficult. And they're fun to do. So that's awesome. Sweet Nothings crochet socks. That's what they're called.
Very cool. I love that name too.
Yeah. I think that's because that was the name of the yarn. I think the yarn color is called Sweet Nothings.
I've done that too.
Yep.
It's like you can make it in any color, but we just needed a name.
We like the Sweet Nothings.
Yeah.
All right.
It is a great name. Okay. Here's one for me. This is definitely sort of a last minute stash buster.
People are loving this.
A bowl cozy, essentially. I don't know about you guys. Of course, I don't have any dishes down here except for my coffee mug this morning. Yeah. But we use those Corella bowls, you know, just like they come in a million designs. My grandmother used to have a set that she collected from the gas station, or at least that's the story she told us. I purchased mine at a store, but they're just the perfect size. Now, that said, I've also got some random like Rachel Ray bowls somebody gave me one time, and just some other random bowls that are sitting in the cupboard, Three teens, go through a lot of bowls and dishes sometimes. This fits all of those bowls really beautifully. It doesn't matter what size. The short ones, not the teeny tiny ones, of course, but the short ones, the big tall soup ones, that you might get for ramen or things like that. But this is fantastic. We use our microwave all the time, not going to lie. And those bowls get hot. You can drop the bowl right in here. I left kind of spaces here at the corners. Let's see if I can get to show. So it's easy to grip and grab onto. You've got lots of room to hold onto it. You don't have to try and get your hand under there. So it's, maybe not something too piping hot for little ones, but they can try and carry their own stuff with a little bit better of a grip too. Also for older people, arthritis, probably coming to get all of us eventually. Anything to make life a little bit easier and keep our hands a little bit safer. To make this extra quick, I did use Lily Sugar and Cream so that it is washable and dryable. Again, you're using it in the kitchen. You want to be able to throw it in the washer and dryer. Food is going to get spilled on this.
Yes. So inevitable.
Inevitable. It's going to have to get washed along with all the dish towels and things. But I used 2 strands. I used a ball of this kind of brown jute beige color. I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact name of it. And white. So kind of a taupe and a white held together. But I think it made it a really lovely.
It's wonderful. And people are already making this. Like, this is the great thing about the quickies. I mean, the quickie term is relative, right? It's whether it's whatever the quickness is for what your needs are and what you're making. But there are people already making that item for Christmas gifts. And so it's absolutely fantastic. I love that. Yeah. All right. You want me to pick another one? I got the whole bag. All right, here.
Yeah, absolutely.
More of the crochet items.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a filet crochet market bag. And I don't know how to, it's hard to see on the inside, right? Because
that's the problem with filet. You got to have that background almost.
I know. Can you see anything?
It's actually showing up really well.
Can you?
Yeah.
Maybe if I even go like this.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got there's you can see there's a cross sort of looking thing there. Anyways, it's a market bag. This is made out of hemp yarn. I have had this yarn in my stash since I started knitting. So long time. It's Elizabeth Lavold, hempatha. I can't even pronounce it. It's a hemp yarn.
Oh yes. I've seen it. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like hemp.
I'm not sure. You could absolutely make this out of a cotton. You can make it out of a linen. You could do all the things. I was just trying to do something different. Again, stash busting. This really quick. The crocheter made this up super quick.
Oh,
this is fun. You could take this to the actual supermarket, maybe your farmer's market. You could take it to the beach. You could, anything just to throw something quick and easy in there. It feels really good. And you can wash hemp. You can wash linen. You can wash all that. It actually gets softer as you wash it.
I was going to say, that's just going to feel better and better the more you wash
so, it's just, if you're looking for something fun, relatively mindless, because you have to pay attention a little bit. But so it's not going to be like a, oh my gosh, when is this going to end? You know what I mean? You have some interest here. These
But
are
it's going to
fun.
go quick with that filet. It will go fast.
And the more and more different cities go bagless, like these types of bags are very, very, very helpful. And I know that I use a lot of our market bags for the fruit and vegetables and stuff that we buy. I don't like to use the plastic bags. You know, you can there's no need for them. Like you literally could just put them in here. When you get to the checkout, they take them out individually and then put them back in. You don't need them. So they're very, very helpful for that. But this is, I don't know if it was called the filet crochet market bag or not. I don't remember. It's a market bag. I don't remember what it's named, but it's in there. It's one of the bag patterns in there. And it's so much fun to do. Yep.
I love the color.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll go next. But I did want to take just a second to thank everybody who's tuning in and joining us today. We've got people from all over the world, which is amazing. Diane, Chandrika, Reese, DJ Smith, everybody. Thank you so much. Peggy, Beth, Carlene, and Chris Lopez. Thank you again for joining us this morning. So yay. I'm so glad you guys are here. Okay. So I don't usually get changed on camera, but we'll see. This will be a first.
At least not for free.
Yeah. We're not putting on the socks for free on the internet, but I will change that. So this is the Batwing Bodyless Pullover, which is another pattern that I know people are already making. I've had people comment in the group. They're making it. They're on their second one. It is one of those ones where you see it flat or you see it, you're like, that's a strange piece.
That was me. I pulled it out of the box. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Then I put it on. So, I was like, this is magic. I was like, I think this looks good.
So it's basically just the top half of a sweater, right? Okay. So, and Marley and I have talked about this a little bit. Neither of us are really into wearing the crop tops, not so much since, the 80s, maybe early 90s. But
I feel like
this you can wear over something solid.
If somebody comes in, they're like, what are they doing?
I know. What is this show?
I know.
So, there we go. So I actually purchased a sweater like this. Actually, it was a sweatshirt off of one of those really popular fast fashion sites. And I loved it because I could throw it over my maxi dresses that I wore all summer long. And it totally changed the look. It made it a winter dress. I was cozy. I was warm. If I did get too warm, I could just pop it off. But it totally changed the look. So I realized, of course, we can crochet these in a million different colors and patterns. And suddenly that black maxi dress, I could probably get away with wearing it 7 days a week, right?
Yeah. Guys, seriously, you might be like, I would never wear that. I'm telling you, you put it on and you're just like, well, this feels delightful. Like it just feels so good.
Yeah. It's just super simple.
Super easy.
Takes a second to get it kind of arranged, but there we go.
Super easy.
Did not plan ahead to find a matching outfit, but
You're good. It looks golden. It looks golden.
A little patriotic, but
I love it.
Yeah, it just kind of sits at a really flattering angle for everybody. It kind of sits out away from the body, so it's not going to emphasize anything underneath that you don't want to emphasize or that maybe you do.
Yeah.
But it's just really light and open. I used Red Heart Super Saver Brushed, which if you have not used this before, totally different animal than your regular Red Heart Super Saver. This is so soft and lovely. Don't you think so?
I love it. I seriously, I put it on and it was so lightweight too.
Yes.
It added the warmth that I needed because I'm in my basement studio and it gets very, very cold down here. And so I took pictures of myself in that. And then I came to edit pictures and I was still wearing it because it just felt so good. I really like it. I wonder if does it smell like my perfume? It's
oh, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, it I'm not BSing you guys. I really like this a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's just, it's simple, but the great thing is you don't have to worry about if it's going to fit. I wrote it up in two sizes, but so far the smallest size has fit my daughter, who is 21, and a little slip of a thing that wears like a medium max. Same one fits me. Same one fits Marley.
I'm a 3X if y'all need to know.
So I included a bigger size if you really, really want to maintain an oversized fit as you go higher and higher. But
really, the one size is good. I mean, I'm a 52-inch bust. If somebody needs to know, so there's a picture of me in it in the Stash Busting Quickies. And I mean, that's in it. I have plenty of room. Yeah. It's an unexpected, pleasurable pattern. I was like, I really, really like this.
Thank
Really
you.
like this.
And it's quick, it's fast, it's like so few rows, you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can see how big the rows are if you're a crocheter. This is what, maybe 10, 12 rows. I don't remember
Yeah.
off the top of my head. So fast.
It's
So if you
really
haven't made a
good.
garment before,
Yeah.
great way to
It's
start.
really,
You don't have to
it's
worry
really
about
good.
your gauge too much because the fit is just so easy.
Yep. Yeah. It's so fun. I loved it. I love it. All right. You ready for my next one? I don't even remember what this
Yes.
is called. So we're just going to go with this.
Oh, I love this one. It's so pretty though.
So this is love. You guys can feel the weight of this. It's a heavy because it is Chroma Bulky from We Crochet. I used this yarn for Turkey Trot last year. And so I had a lot of different colors in my stash. And I was like, well, I'm just going to grab a bunch of colors and send them, and we'll just make something with that. So you do not have to use this many colors at all, at all. You could use fewer colors. You could do whatever. It's basic crochet chevron made into a cowl. It's really can you see, can you just tell there's a weight to it. And it feels really good. There's enough length that if you wanted to wear it like this, you could twist it, put it over your head.
Oh, love that.
And you just have a nice little layering piece that you could put on under a coat. You could just wear it on its own. There's so many options here for you. And again, the colors, I mean, you could use any color you want. You could use any yarn you want. This is a bulky weight yarn. This is one of the few pieces we made in bulky. But I was like, I want to make some pieces in bulky. So that's what I did. And I am in love with this. I love this very, very much. But yeah, I don't remember the name, but it's in the cowls and scarves section.
I always say the name's the hardest thing because you'll design the piece and then it's time to name it. And it's like,
yeah,
I don't
For
know.
the longest time, this was just zigzag cowl like that. And I don't think that's what the finished name ended up being. I'll have to look it up now because I don't think that's what the finished name was. I'll look it up so that way we know. But this is, I mean, it's just a fun, wonderful crochet project.
Yeah. It's a great stash buster. If you've got like a blanket you made for somebody last year and you've got those little leftover balls or something, how cute would it be to make them, in the same colors?
Yes. So this is the Sorgel crochet scarf. Robin named it. It's either Sorgel or Sorgel. Soergel.
Wow, I have no idea.
I don't either. That's what it's called. So feel free to call it the zigzag cowl.
Yes.
Because that's what it is. It's the zigzag cowl.
And they always have a different working name than the name they actually end up with, right? It's just,
Always.
Batwing bodyless sweater. That one kind of stayed.
That was a great name. I was like, that explains exactly what it is.
Okay. So now I reveal my shame.
Why?
I didn't weave in my ends on one of these projects.
That's okay.
Because it was a lot of ends. So this is kind of the crochet
version. Which one you're talking about.
Of like, if it's a knit project, this is going to take you a little bit longer because there are lots of ends to weave in. I have not yet found a way to work that out unless you put a backing on it. So there's your alternative. You can always sew on a backing.
Not a bad idea.
So I'm going to reveal my shade because I really like this project. I just need to sit down and weave in the ends, which honestly is a great thing to do in the evenings leading up to the holidays, right? My
favorite part about this project, it was long enough to fit on my dining room table because it's a long dining room table.
So now I am going to... Oh, and somebody was asking, Shelly asks, can you use worsted weight yarn on the Sorgel? We're going to go with that. Crochet scarf.
You totally could.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see why not. You might want to add some more rows, but
you totally
that's easy.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll call it the Sorgel.
Okay. So you can see I started to weave in my ends.
Yep.
And then I ran out of time.
Yeah, I get it.
That's the nature of stash busting quickies, right? You put it on the table, you tuck them under.
Yeah, that's exactly.
But it says happy holidays. If I could actually hold it out all at once. Literally just pulled some Red Heart Super Saver again off the shelf. I don't remember if this is Super Saver or With Love. I want to say Super Saver. Yes, this was Super Saver, but it's corner to corner, as you can see, and it spells out happy holidays. And it is really, really long. I want to say
it's
like
very
8 feet long or something like that.
It's very long.
Yeah. So if you are like me and occasionally put things out for the holidays that maybe aren't quite finished underneath, You can just tuck those ends under, and then you'll have something to work on after the holidays.
You'll never know. I thought this was wonderful. When I pulled it out, I was like, oh, this is fantastic. Like we've never had anything like this before. I love that it's corner to corner, very easy, non-denominational.
Yep.
It's just perfect.
Yeah.
I think
change the colors to whatever you want.
Yep.
You can definitely mix it up.
Perfect.
Yeah. And it's just corner to corner, so it's easy. But the great thing is, there's a chart included as well as the written instructions. So however you like to follow those instructions. I used a worsted weight yarn. You could absolutely use a fingering. You could probably get a scarf size out of like a fingering or a DK, or if you've got a small table, use a smaller yarn. Absolutely.
So
I mean, make it in thread, and you probably get a little sign you can hang up.
Like a bunting, like a thing.
Right. That'd be super cute. Or make it in worsted for a giant bunting.
Right? Yeah. Oh gosh. So I have a lot of knitting here on top.
Julia's weaving in her ends right now. Here,
yeah,
it's where I should be
grab
doing
some knitting here. So I know that you do a lot of crochet, so I'm going to grab a couple knitting. So this is the Christmas flower cowl.
Oh, it's so pretty.
That's what it's called, Christmas flower cowl. So if you did my turkey trot this year, you probably recognize this stitch pattern. I loved it so much, and at one point this was going to be the turkey trot pattern, but we changed it up to be something a little bit different. So you don't want to get rid of this pattern. So this is the pattern we went with.
I'm so glad. It's beautiful.
It's so pretty. It's a really nice way to just use some worsted weight yarn, do some very simple color work. The floats, my knitter did just an amazing job with her floats, and she's a new knitter. So she went through By Crafty boot camp. She did such a great job with her floats, and it's just a very nice piece. You can make this with any worsted weight yarn. I do recommend using a natural fiber when you're going to do stranded knitting. It just works out better. So like a Peyton's Classic Wool or a Marley Bird Chic Cheap, if you still have any of that, which is still available at Hirschner's, and it's like super cheap there right now. Nice. Yeah, it's just, and this is just a cowl. Like I can put it on if you guys want me to. And this is one of the ones that's a little bit closer in. So if you wanted to, you could just pull it up so it's over your ears as you're wearing it. I don't like to pull things up on my head, but it's very simple. And you can see even with these deep colors, I mean, this is very unisex. You know, if you don't already know, clothes don't have gender. So anything, you can wear anything anywhere. But it's a very wonderful piece. Just a piece. And you can work this up in a day.
It's so pretty. And I always love it. Yeah. I love that you showed the other side, the inside with that strands. It's so, I don't know, this is kind of to do with nothing, but it always reminds me, the opposite side of stranded knitting reminds me of, do you remember those really beautiful tapestry ribbons? Like, I don't know, my mom had so many of those, and you'd flip them over and they had kind of the same thing where they would strand the other side.
Yes.
And it always makes you think of that. And as a child, I was almost more attracted to the wrong side because I just loved kind of seeing how those colors traveled. And I think this is just such a beautiful example. It reminds me of those tapestry ribbons almost.
I call it float porn because those are your stranded floats. So I call it float porn because
totally makes sense.
Very satisfying to it. And I mean, there's even like store-bought sweaters you can buy where that is the right side because it's the whole it's the whole texture of it. And if you've done your floats properly where they look as uniform as this and they aren't droopy, and you can absolutely get a really great look. So that is part of one of the knitting patterns in there.
That is gorgeous.
All right, your turn.
My turn. So many things. Okay, let's see. Here's one. Actually, the other one's cuter. I did two. I did two towels, but they were both cute. I got these towels. They got a little wrinkled in shipping, but that's okay. I got these towels at the Target dollar spot, right? Everybody loves that.
Love it.
And then I used the linen stitch. And this is the first time I'd ever actually done this. We all grew up with these, right? But this is the first time I'd actually added a towel topper to a towel before. It was quite a bit easier than I anticipated. I really not one to break out the iron or, sewing machine or anything like that. Didn't need the sewing machine, thankfully. Did want to do a little bit of ironing. But that was it. Just put that crease in there. You could skip it if you wanted to. But it was so easy. These dish towels, I didn't realize how easy it is to get a yarn and yarn needle just kind of right through them. Yeah. Easy peasy.
I love it. These were, guys, I requested that Tamara design these because I was like, I grew up with these in my house. I loved them. I've never actually made them myself either. I was like, hey, why don't you make these? She was like, I'll give it a try. I was like, these are perfection.
Thank you.
I took the picture of these guys. It was during Thanksgiving. So if you've ever think about what your kitchen looks like when you're cooking Thanksgiving, and then I decided to do a photo shoot, like be very impressed with how clean everything is.
Right? I know.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I love them so very much. You can hang those on your oven handle. You can hang them on your dishwasher, on your refrigerator. Like they're just so handy to have around. And I thought you did a great job.
Thank you.
Very, very
one of the things I did use the moss stitch or linen stitch or granite stitch.
Whatever
depending on which school of thought you belong to there.
Yeah.
But we've got some decreases. We start obviously at the bottom and go up, then into this great strap. Fits really well and easily over this button. I love these buttons. You may have spotted these buttons on some of my other projects as well. But one of the great things about this particular version of the crochet design is it really encourages it, I think, to fold up really nicely. Like it really wants to hang.
Yep.
Really beautifully.
I had no problem. When I was doing the photography, it wanted to do that. Like I didn't have to force it. It definitely wanted to do that.
I didn't iron it to go that way. Literally the only thing I ironed was this crease in the top so that I knew my stitching would line up nicely, but that was it.
Yeah. It just
really,
folded
so
in
if you've
perfectly.
got like, you know, I mean, I don't know, when I'm actually like cooking and things, I need my towels loose to be like running around the kitchen with me. But especially for like your decorative ones, you know, the ones you put up just for Christmas and you don't want them running away. You don't want, you know, the niece or nephew to grab it to clean up the floor with. Attach it to the oven so they can't just run away.
Right, exactly. I love it. I think those are so great. I'm gonna have you go again. Oh, I love that. I love the colors you chose too. Like,
thank you.
Because they're non-traditional. So much fun.
Okay, this one still has this little tag on it, and I don't have a to-go coffee cup on me, but this is the winter. What did we call this one? Winter Wonderland.
I'll go find it. I'll go find the title.
Something like that. I don't remember exactly, but I wanted it to look just sort of really Nordic and farmhousey, you know, really simple.
Winter Forest Cup Cozy.
Winter Forest Cup Cozy. That's it. So it's got a tree on either side. You can see really plain just here. It's got its little hang tag still. I'm trying to hide on the inside. But I love this project for a number of reasons. First of all, it has this really great sort of, like I say, kind of rustic Nordic look, which is really in right now. But if you are one of those people who loves a little bit of shine and bling and extra, you could definitely decorate the trees that go on here, you know, liven it up, use whatever colors, use a sparkle yarn. This is a bulky, so it does work up very, very fast. And it's mosaic crochet. And it's mosaic crochet in the round specifically, which means normally when you're learning mosaic crochet, there's a ton of ends, right? That's the one downside to mosaic crochet, ends, ends, ends. There's ways around it, but especially for a beginner level project, you're going to have an end, 2 ends nearly every row, right? Because you're changing colors. With this one, because it's in the round, you just have an end from each of those colors you've used. So I love that. As you can see from the table runner, weaving in ends is perhaps not it's how I should spend my evenings. It's not how I always do spend my evenings. But with this one, you're not getting a ton of ends. So it's a small project, but you're not, you know, even with a small project, a ton of ends is really annoying, right? It takes it from being a quick project to being, you know, if it takes as much time to weave in the ends as it does to crochet it, I'm not interested. This introduction to mosaic crochet, if you haven't done it before, quick little mosaic treat if you are familiar, and it will fit your coffee cups, you know, whatever you know, if it's great for teachers. I'm always a big fan. My kids are too old now for the gifts to teachers thing, unfortunately. But we don't really do that in high school here. But when they were small, I would always make coffee cup cozies for the teachers at Christmas time and then slip it like a Starbucks or local place. We've got a local place, Dunn Brothers. I would slip one of their gift cards in there so the teacher could go get whatever they wanted. And then, you know, that way they've got something consumable. I just think that makes a really nice teacher gift as opposed to, you know,
absolutely
yet another favorite teacher mug.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. They're just good like that. That's really excellent.
Yeah.
I like that.
And somebody mentioned the printables, which is awesome.
Yes.
Because the printables are a great one to show, because there's one specifically for coffee cup cozies, and I have them over here all stacked up.
That's what I used. Yeah, I used that because I was like, oh, how am I going to show this? And I was like, oh, I'm going to use one of the printables.
Yeah, there we are. Here we are. I had to go digging for them. All right, there we are. So you can print out these when you go to gift the coffee cup cozy, which I have now put down somewhere. But they've got care instructions boxes on there too. So whatever kind of yarn you use, you can include that. You don't need the care instructions. You could, just use a little piece of Scotch tape and stick your gift card right to that too. And then you're all set right there.
Yep, exactly.
So, yay.
Exactly.
All right, your turn.
My turn. Oh gosh. All right, so I'm going to grab this one. It's another knit one. This is called the Chocolate Heart. So I'm going to explain to you why in just a minute. So this hat design, I actually made it when I was designing the game day hats from this year. And it is a fun, again, stranded knitting. I love color work, guys. I love it so much. So this is a stranded knitting. You can see on the inside, beautiful strands, all worked all the way around. She tucked her in her ends because she had like longer strands going on. It uses the Latvian braid, which if you've never done it before is so simple. Like it's ridiculously simple. And
very impressive though.
This particular piece is worked up in mini skeins. So if you are one of those people who like to go out and buy a bunch of mini skeins from different dyers, they put together collections. You can absolutely use like a collection of mini skeins to make this piece. Now, the reason this is called Chocolate Hearts is because this was the original. This was the original sample. You can see all my ends because I have not done. And so I keep putting it down and then picking it back up. And I'm literally working on it right now. I'm at the crown. I'm just a few stitches away from having this done. So this was the original Chocolate Hearts. And then what you'll notice on the crochet, there is the cinnamon hearts. It's the same pattern, but it's worked with the waistcoat stitch. So you get the crochet cinnamon hearts, and this is the chocolate hearts. This uses 5 different colors of Chic Sheep yarn. So this was 5 colors of a mini. This is Chic Sheep. I mean, there's tons of leftover. I can make another one. But if you're looking for a fun pattern, not only just for like the holiday season, this would be great for Valentine's. This would be great for anything. I mean, his and her, if you wanted to. It's a great hat. It's a great hat. Yeah. I like it a lot. Very easy to do. If you haven't done color work, trust me, I've got videos on it. You can do it, no problem. Or go get Camp Color Work in the Marley Bird House. You can use the coupon I am the boss if you want to, and you'll get it for $30. It's normally $47. Awesome. So we have it on sale right now. But Camp Color Work is great. It's for knitters and crocheters. But that's the Chocolate Hearts hat.
That's awesome.
And by proxy, the Cinnamon Hearts hat. I don't have it because Robin kept that one. So I don't have that one here. But yeah, so we have Cinnamon Hearts and Chocolate Hearts.
I do have to say, I love the pinks and brown combo. That's so pretty. I don't think I not really used it in design before, but that's just so pretty. And Chocolate Hearts is the perfect name.
I'm a pink girl for sure. And I don't do a lot of brown. I probably do more black. But when I put this together, it's funny because I think the girl that knit this for me actually called this Chocolate Hearts. And I was like, oh, well, that's the name. Like, that's now the name. Because the working title was Alternate Hat Pattern. Because this was possibly going to be game day. And then we changed it all up. But it's just a really fun pattern. So I can't wait to finish that because I want to wear it. So that's why I was working on it so that I could wear that hat. Yeah. But that's that one.
And I love that you mentioned Valentine's Day too, because I think that's something that's so true about these patterns is that, yes, we always come out with it at Christmas time or Hanukkah time, end of the year time. But they're great for year round. There's very little in here that is Christmas specific. Maybe the happy holidays, but even that, holidays happen year round.
Yeah, exactly.
Bust it out for Easter too. But yeah, you can definitely, I mean, these are just great gifts. These are great things to make for yourself. They're definitely not limited rather to the holiday season. I think that agree. That hat would be perfect for Valentine's Day.
Perfect. Absolutely. Or make it a little bigger and make it a cowl. Like I've talked about it. Instead of doing the decreases at the top, like do another ribbing. You have a nice cowl. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Big fan.
Awesome. All right.
This is so cute. This is so stinking cute, you guys. Okay, so what I think about this immediately is because my friend Robin, she's Jewish, and so I learned more about the Jewish traditions and stuff through her. And so she talks about, I think it's dreidel, where you have like little coins that go with it. And I was like, this would be a cute little coin purse to give away for Hanukkah. This would be just a general coin purse in general. The yarn is the star. I mean, you just kind of just go with it. I'm gonna let you talk about it because it's so cute.
Thank you. Yeah, this is made with Bernat Sheepy, which if you've used it before, you know you can't see your stitches. You're not going to be doing any amazing like cable work or stranded color work in this stuff.
Yes.
It is what it is. It makes this fabric. Exactly. But that's the joy of this. This is super simple stitches. Get your right stitch count. You'll be golden. Nobody's going to be able to tell. It's super fuzzy. It's super cute. After it is worked up, it does make a tight enough fabric. I mean, if I really push, I could maybe get like a fingernail through there, but it's going to be a nice tight fabric, right? Things aren't going to fall through. If you wanted to line it, you absolutely could. This is just a kiss clasp left over from another project. Again, I'm going to say 7 years ago because they came in a 2-pack. So I had another one sitting around that I needed to find a home for. So I just sewed it directly onto the yarn. Super simple. I love this, like you say, for a dreidel, for a stocking stuffer. I mean, I love this as an adult, but certainly teens, tweens, chapsticks. We were talking about this. Fill it up with like lip smackers. I can see. I have a 3-year-old niece. You know, even it's very simple. I think even she would really enjoy it. So this is just, again, we've got things like stranded hat knitting, which is going to take you a little bit more time and a little bit more concentration. And then we want to include things like this too, where it's literally the leftovers. You've made slippers, you've made a cowl, you've made a scarf, you've got that little ball of yarn left over. What are you going to do with it? Might just be enough to make a whole purse out of. Which you never would have expected otherwise.
Right. So much fun. All right, I'm going to grab another. Okay, so I'll grab a twofer. So this is a knit hat with the seersucker stitch. And this is the matching cowl seersucker stitch. This is Malabrigo Rios. I love this so very much. This yarn has been in my stash forever because I'm not a blue person prior to moving to Indiana, which sounds funny because you think Indiana, you think red because of the Hoosiers. But the school that I coach at, they are primarily, they're red, white, and blue, but blue is their primary color. And so now I'm starting to have more blue in my life. So this will be my staple track wearing outfit. I speaking of ends, I have one end to weave in, but that's actually left there so that way I can add my pom-pom because I will be adding a pom-pom. Because if you guys don't know me, I am a pom-pom girl. Bigger the better. Like I love a pom-pom. But the hat and the cowl, it has a provisional tubular cast on, which is so easy. It sounds more impressive than it is. It's so easy to do, and it gives a really nice finish. I don't know if you can you see? Is it showing?
I think so.
It just has a very beautiful, start to the cowl, start to the cowl, start to the hat, and then we finish with a sewn bind off so that the two ends match. Again, clothes don't have gender. This works for anybody. You can use obviously this is a kettle dyed yarn. I think that's what it is, kettle dyed yarn. So it's not a multicolor, but it's a tonal. It's like there's different shades of the same tone. You could use any yarn for this, but it's beautiful. Is fantastic. If you're a new knitter, I know you can make this piece because the new knitters in By Crafty Bootcamp did the seersucker. Like we did seersucker. And this was a request from my assistant Chrissy because she loved the seersucker stitch. I do too, because it's beautiful. It's fantastic.
And I do think the blue suits you. I know you say you don't usually wear it, but I do think it suits you.
I never wore blue. Like I cannot literally think back to when I really wore blue ever until moving here. And now I have like a blue coat, I have blue mittens, I have blue everything, which is fantastic. And then my son in his college is like gold and black. And I went to the University of Colorado, which is gold and black. So I'm like, this is like, I got this. So it's pretty awesome. Anyway, so this is the Valoris cowl and the Valoris hat. So these are two of the patterns in the collection.
I think I'm going to have to give that a try because I've never tried that provisional tubular cast on before. And I am intrigued because that's a beautiful simple edge.
It is so, you start off with a crochet chain. And then you work into the crochet chain, and then the loops that are not into the loop. So it's sort of funny. You know how you pull up your loop here, and then your strand goes around so that the loop goes there. You you cast on, you chain half the number of chains you totally want. So if you wanted 50 or if you wanted 100, you'd chain 50, and then you'd work them, you'd pull them all up, work stockinette for like 3 rows or something like that. And then on the next row, you would like purl one, and then you'd pull up that strand that goes between those two, and you knit it. So now you get your knit one, purl one ribbing, and you get this really beautiful, it's like so simple. And then it's awesome. So satisfying to unzip that crochet chain. You're like, yes, I am winning. Like I'm winning so much at life right now. But yeah, it is such a fun thing to do. And then you just jump right into the seersucker pattern. The knitter who made this, she actually turned around and made it again and for herself. And then she had it modeled on her horse. Like, it's so cute. She had it modeled on a horse. She's also the knitter that made this. So she made all of this. Yeah.
So that speaks to even the fact that we've got stranded knitting, we've got some beautiful knitting set. Somebody managed to pull it off in plenty of time.
Oh yeah, she made it she's made a couple of these now. So she's pretty and she just learned to, I think she learned to knit from By Crafty Bootcamp, if I remember correctly. So she's a fairly new contract crocheter or knitter. She does crochet too. But she's pretty darn awesome.
And that's such a great testimony for a pattern when they finish one and immediately you got to start a second one. Yeah. You know, because we've all heard of second sock or second mitten syndrome, you know, where you make one and you're like, oh, I don't want to make the second one. I've already made one. If you make a whole cowl, something that doesn't need a second half, but you still go and do it again, that really speaks to how awesome that pattern is.
Yeah. And it was the first time she had done that cast on too. And she was like, this is magical. I'm like, I know. Oh, I know. It's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Anyway, your turn.
Okay.
I'm going to pull out something else while you're doing that.
There's so many things. And yet, not that many things. We've been going through quite a few things.
I know.
Here, we have them all kind of tied together here for easy transportation. Make sure I'm showing the right side. Yes, here we are. This is the right side. We have our trio of dishcloths, because who doesn't love a great, simple dishcloth? I mean, they are probably, when I learned how to crochet, I knit dishcloths and washcloths for ages because I didn't have the patience for a scarf and I wanted to learn new stitches. I wanted to learn new stitch patterns.
Yep.
Same thing when I learned how to knit. I knew I needed practice. And so I went right back to my same thing. I started making dishcloths in different stitches, and that's how I learned how to knit. So I came up with a trio of dishcloths here, 3-wise dishcloths or cleaning cloths or, washcloths, whatever you want them to be. They can go wherever you want. I always say, just decide. Is it a washcloth or a dishcloth? And then you're good.
Right.
So we've got that pattern right there. I don't remember the names of the actual stitch patterns. I think they're just cloth 1, 2, and 3.
And I love the size, you guys. Like, I have a big hand, and I love when I can grab a washcloth and it's like my hand is not just consuming the entire cloth.
Yes. Yeah. I love a big cleaning cloth too. There's nothing worse, when it's a tiny little rag. So we've got this great wrap stitch here. And then we've got this one that kind of reminded me a little bit of Christmas trees. Well, if you turn it this way, it does.
Yes. They're cute.
They are cute. And I kept them all. They're a little bit open work. They're solid cloth, lots of cleaning space, but they're open work. So they're going to dry a lot quicker than something heavy and dense. They're interesting, but they're not dense. Yeah. And that's something I know people look for in their crocheted or knitted dishcloths and washcloths a lot, because you want to make it scrubby, but at the same time, if it's too thick, it just stays damp. So these should dry relatively quickly. And I love the photos you got of these, again, on Thanksgiving, like the busiest kitchen day of the year.
I cleared the sink. I'm like, all right. My daughter came in. She goes, why is the fancy soap out? And I was like, I got to take pictures. It's just funny.
That's awesome.
So this is the Giovanni scarf. And this uses 3 different colors of roll bit melange with a long, come on. That just is so gorgeous.
It's such a fun yarn too.
It is so great. It's so wonderful. The great thing about this, you guys, so next week, Robin and I are doing a lunch and learn on my YouTube channel. And no, I'm incorrect. Let me rephrase this. Tomorrow, we are doing an exclusive lunch and learn webinar for everybody who purchases Stash Busting Quickies. So as soon as you purchase Stash Busting Quickies and you go into the Marley Birdhouse, you'll notice that one of the bonuses is this webinar. Now, you don't have to watch it live. It is recorded. It will be posted in there. You can watch it whenever you want. That's the beauty of the Marley Birdhouse. But if you're interested in making something live with us, I will be working on the Brookstone hat. I'll show you that when we get to it. And then Robin designed a hat pattern using this stitch pattern. So this is the Giovanni scarf. She is going to demonstrate the Giovanni hat, which will be a new free pattern added to Stash Busting Quickies. So you're actually going to get 51 patterns. But it'll be a combination of this. She used a different yarn so that you can kind of see what it would look like if you didn't use a multi-yarn like this. But I'm not going to lie, like we've talked about this before. Roll With It Melange is one of my favorite yarns. And I love when you can combine colors like this, because if you saw these colors separately, you would be like, why are you putting those together?
Yeah.
But then once you do it, you're just like, that is magical.
Yeah. Melange is tricky like that. It looks so different in the skein than it does worked up.
Yes. So this is the Giovanni scarf.
That's beautiful. I love that. I did use melange myself.
Yes.
For a pair of patterns. I've got one here. Let's see if I can find the other one. There it is. All right. So I did, and what do we call these? Catwalk, which I think was the name of
the yarn color.
Yarn color. So, you know, similar inspiration here. But we have a matching hat with optional pom and the matching cowl right there. And there's another. This is
one of the colors in this too.
Yeah, this is just the one colorway, but you can see how mixing them makes it so interesting too. So whether you've got one skein, if you've got just one skein of melange, you can make this set. If you've got how many are there? 3?
3, yeah, one of each ball.
Then you can make that giant scarf. So either way, right?
Yeah, so much fun. And there was yarn left over, so I bet there's enough yarn left over of this. You could make the hat.
Probably. Yeah, the hat used maybe, well, a bit less than half a skein. I think the cowl used maybe a little bit more.
Perfect.
But it's just a really simple stitch pattern that, again, just really shows off the yarn, I think. Yeah. It's got just a little bit of texture.
I love it.
It's so pretty. I love this yarn because you just don't know what. Yeah.
It's not itchy. It just feels really good on. I did a crochet along. I know, right? I did a crochet along last year with Yarn Inspirations using this yarn for a swancho, and everybody has commented how wonderful it is to wear, and it really is. It's just really lovely.
Yeah, it feels really, really good. It's not itchy. It's not overly fuzzy, so it's not going to like, you know, it's not one of those yarns that like off-put stuff too. It's not going to mess up your outfit.
Right.
It's just smooth and nice and comfy and just really, really warm. Yeah, I like it quite a bit.
Good. Feels really good. All right. So speaking of stash diving, I pulled out some of my favorite yarn that I know has been discontinued from Red Heart because I was like, I'm going to use it one more time. This is the Booth Bay shawl, and I'm going to step back and I'm going to show you a couple different ways you can wear this because it is very large. It uses the old Red Heart Colorscapes. But I know for sure there are other yarns on the market similar to that yarn, so you could get this look with other fibers on the market. But it's a very large shawl, right? I like to wear mine like this. So I kind of squish them up like this. I cross them around the back and then bring them forward.
That's how I like to wear them too.
I wear mine usually like this. Like this is how I will wear my scarves, or not my scarves, my shawls. You can like kind of have it jaunty off to the side. You can do whatever you want. Like it just fits really good. I'm 5'10". I hate it when my pieces fall off, which is why this is very nice and long. They're not going to fall off. Like it's not super short. Robin, she likes to wear hers across her back. So I'm just going to put it across my back. And then, so she'll wear it like this, but then she takes the two ends here and she will stitch them to this end. So she stitches it like this. And so then she has like a shrug.
Yeah.
So that's how she wears hers. I mean, I could, I just don't wear mine like that, but she loves wearing it like that. So it's very much just a comfortable shrug is how she wears hers.
Well, it looks like it's long enough too. You could put a little knot right in the lower back if you wanted to, and then you've got options.
Yep, you absolutely could. So there's so many different ways you can style this. It's made from the width end down to the tip, and then you add the border, and really the yarn does all the color work for you. You don't have to do anything special there. So if you pick yourself a nice yarn that has some color change, and not just a variegated that's like looks like all speckly, like you could do that. It's going to look different. But if you used Colorscapes, it had, I don't want to say super long color changes, but longer, and you get a really great look. So I'll show the back. Can you see it?
What weight yarn is that one? Do you remember? I don't remember what I've used Colorscapes and I loved it, but I can't remember what weight it was
I
after.
don't remember at all.
Time.
Let me go look.
Probably a medium or so.
I think it was a worsted. I think it was a heavy worsted. It was a heavy worsted.
So Red Heart Melange might be a great substitute then for that one as well, because it's got sort of that self-striping.
So, yeah, Melange, you know what? It totally could. Melange is a little bit thinner, but you absolutely could use that.
Yeah.
I mean, I love this. I love everything about this. But this is the Booth Bay shawl.
That's
so
beautiful.
much fun. Thank you.
All right. Yay. All right. Let's do just a couple more because we've been here for just about an hour. And I know people probably have like lunches and things to get to.
Yes. I'm going to grab one more on my end too.
Respect everybody's time here. So I will bring up a set. A 3-piece set to save time.
Okay.
So, okay.
And I just grabbed the bag, so we'll go with what's in the bag.
All right. Yeah, you did promise to show off a particular hat, so you need to show that one. Brookstone, was it?
Oh, yeah. I got to find that.
I'm trying to remember the name.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the cobblestone set. I used another favorite of mine that, alas, I don't know if you can get this specific yarn anymore. Red Heart Huga Charm. I loved this yarn so much. I made sweaters and things out of it. And it is showing up today. It's always a gamble. You never know when sparkle's going to show up on camera and when it's not. But today, at least on my monitor, I can see it. I don't know if it's showing up on where you are watching or not.
I see a little sparkle.
Yay! Okay, so I used 3 colors of this. I used a gray, a white, and a pink. They had fancy names. I don't remember what they are. But I had exactly 3 balls of this yarn left. I don't even think they were all full. I think I'd pulled a couple yards from at least a couple of them. But I had enough to make a scarf that's just a little bit wider than a standard size scarf. So it's not a super scarf. It's not a skinny scarf. It's returning to the official measurement of what a scarf should be. But we've got a scarf. We have a hat to match. I did a little bit of striping up here, and then we went into the cobblestone stitch for the sides. I love doing my crochet brims. If you've made hats for me before, you've probably made this brim before. And then a really simple top. Saves a little bit of yarn. Since we were using some stash busting, I needed to do a little bit of making sure I had enough left of each color. But also, if you're going to do a pom-pom, I think that would look really cute on here too. Yeah. And then somewhere I misplaced it, but there is enough yarn because I still had some left over to make 2 fingerless mitts. I don't know where the other one ran off to, but it did make 2 fingerless mitts.
I looked everywhere. I was like, did I lose it? I'm like, it is not here. And it's fine because with the magic of photography, I made it look like there are 2.
It's around. It still has this little hang tag on it too here. Tuck that in. But you can see, I love mine. I love a long wrist because Marley and I have talked about this before. Both of us, I think, I'm 5'7" or 8, depending on where I'm being measured. Marley's 5'10". We both, I think, probably suffered from the too short coat sleeve as a child. Still scarred. Still look for that. When I try on a coat in the store, the first thing I do is this.
That's exactly
me, right?
Too.
The sleeves are long.
Yes.
So
I love long cuffs.
Yeah, you've got to have the long cuff. So I wanted to make this again. This is a super simple set. Stash buster. Use what you've got. These are exactly the same. So if you've never made fingerless mitts before, you don't have to worry about, making them fancy or anything. It's 2 mitts, exactly the same. Very simple stitches. Again, the same stitches that you'll find in the hat and the scarf. This stitch pattern itself is made out of it's worked this way. It's worked with really your basic stitches.
You guys can see the sparkle. I can see the sparkle.
Yay. Yes, I think we can see the sparkle. But so it's just really simple stitches. Nothing new stitches you have to learn, no post stitches or anything like that. The stitches you know and love. And you can just work up 2 of them really super quick and easy.
All right, so since you're showing hand warmers, I just showed you one of this is 1 skein of yarn. This is the largest hand warmer. So you can get a full set of fingerless hand warmers. I think this is called More Than Just Socks because this is sock yarn. Again, this is sock yarn obsession or sock obsession yarn because I love her colors. But speaking of, and I told you black and yellow are my son's school colors. These are convertible mittens, again, long cuff. I intended for the crocheter to make the size for him for Christmas, but she made the smaller size, which is fine. I just can't fit my hand in here. I mean, look, my hand's like, no, that's not gonna fit. But these are the what did I call them? I did a play on words with the word bee. because
Bee.
they
I was
look
going
like,
to say something with bees.
yeah, because they look like a bee to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got to go up to hand warmers. Hold on a second. Let me go look because I remember Beatrice.
Beatrice. That's it.
Get it? They're the Beatrice convertible. I was like, oh, that's cute. And it's the little things, people. It's the
Mm-hmm.
little things. But you could make these just fingerless. You can make them just, you don't have to add the flap if you wanted to. And then you just, you don't have to do the shaping on the actual thumb. You could just stop it early.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could make them fingerless. These use 1 ball each color of chic sheep yarn. You can use any yarn you want. There are video instructions because the construction is just like some previous patterns that I've done, the 3-in-1 mittens or the 3-in-1 hand warmer set that I did with Yarnspirations a couple of years ago. Same pattern, different stitch pattern. So there are full-blown instructions for you if you need help with these. Those are the Beatrice. And then this is the Brookstone hat that I mentioned that is going to be an exclusive webinar on Stash Busting Quickies. So with this, you can see the cuff is really long, right? And you could decide if you want this to be on the outside when you fold it, or if you want this side to be on the outside when you fold it. Totally up to you. And the great thing, this comes in a set, going with the hand warmers again. Here are the Brookstone hand warmers, like mittens. And you can see I chose the opposite side for this. I like things that aren't just matchy, but they coordinate. So these look similar, right? The stitch pattern on the front of this is actually the same as the body of this hat, but the cuffs, they're different because when this folds up, it looks a little different. Then you have the scarf, which the stitch pattern is similar to those, only this one, it's done on the diagonal. Can you see the diagonal? And it's reversible. So depending on what side you want to wear, it doesn't really matter.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so fantastic. And such a beautiful set and so classic.
Yeah. So tomorrow I'll be showing, I'm really going to demonstrate this portion the most. So if you wanted to come to the webinar with this part already complete, because that's what I'm going to come with, this part complete. And then I'm going to talk to you about how you decide, which side you want. And then we're going to do this stitch up here. Because really, I mean, this is just like a 3x1 ribbing or something along those lines. I don't remember, maybe 2x1 ribbing. I don't recall. But still, you don't need to spend all that time doing this. And this just takes a lot of time to do. So why not have it done and then join me and we'll do the body, because that's where the stitches are just a little bit different. Yeah. And you really want to know how to do them because they're fun tuck stitches. Yeah. So that's it. So the webinar is exclusive to the Stash Busting Quickies. We will not have that on YouTube. That's an exclusive webinar on Vimeo. The link is already in the Marley Birdhouse. And I think that's the last thing we should probably talk about is when you get the Stash Busting Quickies, you'll buy it, you'll receive an email from me. If you've ever unsubscribed from one of my newsletters, though, funny fact, we can't email you. So if you don't get an email because you've unsubscribed, just let us know. We have an entire customer support team there to help you out. So if you reach out to contact@marleybird.com, contact@marleybird.com, one of my support team, Chrissy or Sharon, will reach out to you and get you connected. Because ultimately what happens is you're going to get sent what the information is on how to get to the Marley Birdhouse. It's this easy, guys. Go to the Marley Birdhouse. Use the same email you use to buy Stash Busting Quickies to log into the Marley Birdhouse. It's your login and your password the first time you log in. And then everything you want is inside the Marley Birdhouse. Everything that you've purchased is going to be there. Think of it as like this is your filing cabinet. You open it up. These are your files. You get all your patterns in there, and everything you need is right there. It
makes it super easy. It really does. And don't forget, this is a limited time thing. Yes. It ends Christmas Day.
Yeah, I think like midnight Christmas Eve, I think is when it ends. I think that's what we said. Okay.
So make sure you have it before then. Sooner the better. Yes. The price will not go up in the meantime. It's going to be $29. So, you don't have to wait thinking it's going to be what it is, because $29 for everything that's included is kind of frankly ridiculous. But we're going with it. So.
Yeah. Trust me. All of our friends are like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I know. It's like, excuse me, you're kind of like crazy, but here we are. So it's the time of year to go crazy, right?
It is.
Again, for $29, you get 50 patterns, knit and crochet. You don't have to make both, to get your money's worth out of this. You get all these patterns. that you can make year round for years to come.
Yep.
You get all these printables.
Yep.
So many things, recipes, things to help you keep your holiday organized. There's an entire holiday planner in there, you guys. So many printable pages.
There's so
sticker
much.
sheets, tags, all these things. Coupons for Marley's Ravelry store, coupons for my Ravelry store, which add up to more than the cost we're even asking for. So you're literally getting at least $500 worth of stuff here for the very low price of $29. Yep. Again, this is only available here through Christmas.
Yep. And then it goes back in the vault.
And then it goes back in the vault.
And we've talked about this might be the last year we've done it. We've done it for 3 years. Yeah. We have volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, which, by the way, you can buy volumes 1 and 2 right now in the Marley Birdhouse. Those always go back into the vault, but we brought them back live. They're each $29. So if you don't have them and you want them added to your vault, you can buy each one of those individually if you want. There are more patterns in there. There's so many patterns, you guys.
So many, so many.
But this very well might be the last year we do this. We aren't sure. So go check it out.
This is essentially writing 2 to 3 books. Your average pattern book, if you were to go buy one of the mini pattern books that are available on the shelves, you're going to see, I would say 18 patterns, 30 maybe if it's a really big one. We're putting out 50 patterns like pretty much every year. So this has been a huge endeavor. It's been literally like anthologies of crochet and knitting every year. It's been a lot of work, but we're so excited that we've got it done and that we've put these patterns together for you guys. So if you love it, let us know. If you really, really want to see Stash Busting Quickies Volume 4, let us know. Let us know what you think of Volume 3. And of course, as Marley was saying, you can get Volumes 1 and 2 for a limited time also in that Marley Birdhouse. So after you've gotten Stash Busting Quickies Volume 3 and you've seen what's in it, scroll on down on that Birdhouse and you'll see 1 and 2 right there. And you can get those as well. Yep.
And just, I mean, I put in the comments, if you want Camp Color Work at all, we have a special coupon code, $30. It's just, you can get it for $30. And the code is just, I am the boss, because I made the decision the other day. I was like, I'm just going to give a code. Why? Because I'm the boss. So that's why it's called that. So if you're interested at all, you can have all the things in the Marley Birdhouse if you want. Or, you know, just take them step by step. The Camp Color Work is available long-term. So if you don't want to get that right now, no big deal. But Stash Busting Quickies, all of them go back into the vault. We'll say Christmas Day. Let's just say Christmas Day. They go back into the vault and they won't be back out. And I mean, who knows when? We never know when we're going to bring them out. We just, it's like we put them back in. And then Tamara and I both will put up the patterns individually for sale. So if even, honestly, guys, my knitting patterns, they're usually $10 a piece. So if you find 3 knitting patterns that you like, just 3, you've paid for the entire thing. Plus you're getting money back to get more patterns from the Ravelry store. Like it's really a really, really great value. And I know at this time of year, the economy that we're dealing with, value is king. So this is a huge value. We really hope you guys enjoy it. A lot of you are liking the stuff. That's so great. We love this. We're always trying to keep things new, keep things fresh, keep things going. Please remember, sharing is caring. The more you tell people about this, the more it helps all of us. We've had it scrolling at the bottom of the screen forever. StashBustingQuickies.com. That's where you're going to go to see everything. You can actually, all the pictures are there too of all the pieces that we have. So if you want to see those again, you can take a peek. And that's where that's at.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing collection and I hope you guys love it. I'm so glad to hear that so many of you are loving it so far. It has certainly been a labor of love and we're just so excited to share it with all of you. So thank you so much to Marley for joining me today. And thanks to all of you for joining us as well. I will be back on Facebook, the Moogly Facebook page tomorrow at 10 a.m. with the latest Moogly news and events. And Marley, you'll be going live
when the webinar at 1 o'clock Eastern time. Yep, and the link is in the course. If you open, I can't even talk all of a sudden. It's not even a course in the pattern collection. If you open up the Stash Busting Quickies in the Marley Birdhouse, you'll see it says bonus webinar. You'll see that there's a link in there for you to join us live. If you can't join us live, like I said, it's okay. It's getting recorded and it will be posted in there for you to watch later. So you have all the time in the world to watch it. Yep. No worries.
Yes,
All
and
right.
all the time in the world to make these patterns. Don't
Yeah,
feel like you have to
absolutely.
make them
It's
by
yours.
Christmas.
This is unlimited access. Once you have it, that's the beauty of the
Yes.
Marley Birdhouse. You don't have to go looking for it. Everything is there. And if for some reason you have something else in the Birdhouse and you used a different email address to buy this one, contact customer support. They could put it into your same Marley Birdhouse. You don't have to have like 3 different houses under 3 different emails. We can condense it all down to one. You just got to let us know.
Yep.
And just remember, we aren't 24 hours, so we do sleep. So if for some reason you're like, it's 10 o'clock at night and I haven't gotten a response, chances are we're sleeping.
Yeah.
Not me. I never sleep, but the customer support team is sleeping. So
the customer support team is 2 people in United States time zones. Like it's not, we're not worldwide, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. I love that. I love that. Not yet.
Yes, we'll get there.
Cool. Awesome. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.